place of battering winds and lightning, place of wanton escape and lost trails. We are at sea. It is a land of anonymous wandering, off in the void where places are not. Here, each with their own reasons, the crew of the SS Buildwatcher sail under the cloak of pass-by places, riding on fungible waves. And surely, they're not the only freaks and ne'er-do-wells at sea. Welcome to Bloodwine.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
I do. I love the cute little. I don't know what I'm doing there, but
Well, every single one of our clips was taken from the stream that I did, the wrestling stream.
oh, okay. I guess that makes more sense.
Yeah. So you were doing something as Barbie.
Yeah.
You know, now that I think about it, I feel like it was specifically you going, yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely the Barbie intro. I basically scanned through the entire video and wrote down whenever one of us did something that was really sort of like woo animated, so that I could use whatever clips that I found. And I was like, you know what? A stream where we're all joking and laughing is probably the best stream for us being like woo animated and describing what we were doing. So I was like, I'm gonna go and look through that one. And I had many clips to choose from.
Yeah, I bet.
Speaking of being animated, for anybody who's watching this stream, you probably have a visual indicator of my general expressiveness. I tend to face and do things with my hands and move my body when I say things. And this will happen when I'm just kind of like daydreaming or walking around and have a thought in my mind. And I recently moved like downtown, like not just close to downtown where it's like a 10-minute bus from downtown, like actually right there. Walk to Vic Park kind of thing. And so like day to day in my walks, I actually encounter people way more often. And just earlier today, I was sitting there, and specifically I was thinking of stuff for like both stream and another game, like I'm running off camera. And I'm thinking of something nasty a villain's gonna do, and I'm like, and I realize I'm making a nasty ass face, and I look up, and there's like some middle-aged woman leaving her house, and I immediately switch, I'm like, hi, and just desperately like walk forward going, oh god.
I'm normal.
Don't worry.
I was just very spooky on the road.
I have lived downtown for years now, and you're not the first person to do that.
I didn't know that this city had such a rich tapestry of GMs everywhere.
Yeah, so many GMs. I mean, it's right by a game store. You can't really fault it.
Yeah.
True.
Right by multiple game stores now that I think
Multiple
about
game stores.
Actually, if you're telling me that I can't fault downtown, you're wrong as hell.
That's true.
I have a lot of
you can fault
issues with
downtown for
that
a lot of
place.
things.
This
But
town has such a
GMing
weird
is not.
economy. Like it's gone from being like a railway town to a university town to a border town to a bunch of other things, and right now, like of all things, if I remember correctly, like it's got like a large mobile game dev sector of all things.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Wait, really? I should start applying to those sorts of things.
You
I think
should.
I know Unity.
You really should. I know a couple.
Oh shit! Send me those so I can move back so that I can roommate with my great bestie Ryan, whom I love.
he's a good boy.
Is
I'm
Ryan
gonna shout out
staying?
Ryan.
Is he? You know what? Let's talk about this later.
Yeah, this is like our.
This is personal.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so you guys, just like the photograph of all the workers out on the pier, I'm gonna open with you guys at noon, waiting for just kind of like a debrief to find out your work orders for tomorrow. You are waiting by the edge of the ship. What do we see?
Well, I mean, if we're just waiting around, Sun's gonna be hammering out some more bullets.
I'm gonna be throwing rocks at pedestrians.
Mean and rude.
Krokel is going to be sitting there, just kind of being like, "Yup, yup, Boone."
I feel like you guys are up on a bridge over top of a canal, throwing rocks at boats passing underneath.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not. We're just at a pier throwing rocks at just people. So I feel like someone's going to be pissed off at us eventually. But, you know.
Yeah.
The real question is, are we in our rookery uniform while we do this?
Oh my god.
Defaming the company name.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, Jane and Croquill, you guys are just by the edge of the boat, like... Croquill, you're tossing rocks. Specifically Jane, you're like... I presume at this point you're not just like trying to actually just like hit random sailors and start a fight, because like they'll draw swords around here. They'll fight you.
No, yeah, like, really what I'm thinking is, can I toss a rock in such a way to hit this person, and then look away casually, so that, like, they don't know it was me, you know?
Okay, so this is sniping. This is distinctively sniping.
Yeah.
You've got your shit spoon out, and you are stirring.
Yeah.
Alright, so Tiana has been behind you pretending to mop, playing it cool while watching this go down. Kenanye is below, with, what was I gonna say? With Sun, just like working on pieces and parts. Kenanye is trying to just do some maintenance and a little bit of extra mechanical love to the apparatus. Throw a few rods in there, stick a few gears. They might not end up where Kenanye puts them, but like they get incorporated, and that's what's important. You have had a couple of moments where you see Kenanye in the middle of artificing. Like, you turn around, and he's in the middle of, like, hammering out a strut, and then you, like, go to pick up a bottle of oil to hand it to him, and he's in the middle of, like, machining a gear. It's weird when this happens.
Yeah, I don't quite like magic. You know what? Honestly, I would leave. The second I see any sort of magic stuff happening in my workshop, I would yell and make a fuss, but because it's Kananye and I can't really say anything, I would straight up like just leave. So I don't have to deal with magic in my room full of explosives.
Man, roommates, right?
Roommates.
So yeah, you make your way on out. You can see Bilgy in the middle of like writing his own letter, sort and send off with the next bit of mail. He kind of gives you a nod. As you're heading off towards the hatch to go up above decks, Rooker kind of just like mumbles to you and goes, "Freaks me out too. Makes the boat does groans. I don't like it."
Yeah, no, I don't. I just wish he would stop muttering. I don't like it when he goes, "Yes, yes, this will kill." It's not a. I don't know. It's icky.
Yup, that's fair. I get to be out here where I just hear pots simmering and things being clanged around as I clean. I don't have to hear him going, "Oh, the artifice, the artifice." He's weirdly horny about it. I like it.
You know, I never really put that sort of a spin on it in my brain, but thanks for that kind of particular interpretation. I'll be sure to never forget that one, no matter how hard I try.
I will try not to poison your mind with my cursed images. Anyhow, he gestures upwards at the hatch. You're sort of like halfway up, and
Yeah, I'm heading up the hatch.
you plonk through the hatch and peer up, and Tiana just gives you a look and just points at you to wait. Jane, you chuck a stone, and then you just kind of mumble like, "No." And then Croquill, you snap, you throw a little boon on, and then both of you guys pretend to look away. It ricochets off the bent anchor sign, clangs off a bucket, and then 3 different people jump like fucking blazes and look around. They don't seem to notice you.
Good. Good stuff. That's the exact reaction that I want.
Well, you're here to pick up your work orders. What's the first order of business?
Okay, so do we go in full bird outfit and get our work orders, or are we supposed to wait for someone to come to us? Are we supposed to go to the specific bird dock?
You're supposed to go pick them up, but you don't need to go to the bird dock. Someone just needs to go and do the process. It can be one person if need be.
Well, I don't have anything else going on. I'll go. I don't really want to be around artificing. You know, it's only okay when I do it. Because I like nice things. Like,
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Jane's gonna sit there with like a rock in her hand, like pointing it at someone and be like, "Yeah, I'm real busy right now." So
Crocal's gonna get up and just be like, "Yeah, I'll go with, cause yeah."
You guys get up and you get up and start to leave the boat. You hear a groaning, like a real gurgler from the apparatus. Suddenly, you turn around and on the nameplate, you see it briefly turn around to say the SS suit yourself.
Yeah, nope. Nothing against you personally. Just no one likes knowing how sausage is made, I suppose.
I don't like the apparatus.
You hear the machine whirring to a different name. You're not sure what it is. Son, do you look?
Yeah, oh, of course I look.
The ship has renamed itself to the SS Big Sausage.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
A little bit of Polish sausage. A little bit of kielbasa.
Oh yeah. Man, there's a channel that, now that I think about it, I've never actually watched. I've just seen through another streamer who does, like, stuff. Some of it can be a little bit more, like, draining, so, like, they're, like, purge moments where, like, a nice, wholesome video will come on. It's called Ordinary Sausage, and the guy just makes things into sausage.
Huh.
And he has almost, like, a cartoony kind of affect. He's like, hello, how's it going? And, like, you know, we'll take, like, Thanksgiving leftovers and then turn them into sausage and then, like, rate the sausage and describe and film the process. Or, like, throw jelly beans and try to make a jelly bean sausage kind of thing.
Man, I feel like the Thanksgiving sausage is what he started at, and I'm terrified as to where he is now.
I'm more terrified of the thought of, like, a jelly bean hot dog.
yeah,
Can you imagine going to a barbecue and you like, the person, like, puts out a plate of a bunch of, like, sausage and you're just like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good, and it's a fucking jelly bean? You take a bite and it's just pure fucking sugar? Like, this dude must have the ultimate pranks.
I was thinking like a merger of jelly bean and hot dog meat.
Oh, see, that's the thing. This guy has all the casing he needs, and he has a sausage maker. And in spite of the variety, like, it's everything from, like, I'm trying to think of the ones that I've seen. I've seen, like, Wendy's sausage and, like, chicken nugget sausage and stuff like that. And literally all of it is just, well, it gets ground up in the meat grinder so it can go into sausage. Let's stick a casing on. Like,
That's so gross.
there's literally there's a rating which is like, will it blow? Which I have never figured out why, but it's rated in Mark Ruffalo's out of 5. And basically it's like, well, it doesn't take a genius to get stuff into a sausage, but the idea is that, like, you try to take the last little, like, gunk bit and go funk and get all the stuff out. And, like, half the time it just, like, doesn't move, or it just loosely dribbles out because it's not supposed to be a sausage. So check out Ordinary Sausage on YouTube.
That's so gross.
We're not not sponsored.
Dude must spend so much time cleaning his grinder.
or none. The alternative is none.
No.
See, I've done enough work in, like, actual commercial kitchen-y stuff where it's like, that thing just, it's 3 parts and it gets took apart and put through the dishwasher. There is no way in hell that dude puts that through that much hell if he can't very readily and quickly wash it in a clean way.
Oh yeah, he's got an industrial dishwasher,
Yeah.
like, sitting next to it.
Or a hose.
Could you imagine? It would be so nice having those for your house. Like, you just... All of your dishes are there, you just put them on a rack, you throw them in, and you go... And there's an almighty hell that goes on for a minute, and then you go... Shunk, and slide them out, and they're volcanic hot, but they're just...
Yeah.
As a person who has worked that job, it's still not fun.
It does mean you would have to have one of those big sinks with, like, the thing you get from the ceiling, and you have to go... Like, the precision, like, sprayer thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That thing also fucking sucks. Like,
Yeah,
I was watching something, and I was like, oh man, he's doing... You know what I was watching? I was watching, Willy's Wonderland, which is a Nicolas Cage film. That's Nicolas Cage mixed with Five Nights at Freddy's. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. Peak comedy trying to be horror right there. But anyway...
Modern?
Yeah, it's very recent.
It
Like,
came
he
out
did
in
that, he did
February.
Mandy, and then I think Color Out of Space, and all of them have the same frenetic Cage energy.
Yeah, but in that he uses one of those like pull down from the ceiling sort of precision washers, and he goes like full hand down on it, and it's like bee. It's just like a little stream onto the plate. I'm like, no, you have to move that thing a millimeter, otherwise you are covered in water.
See, I thought you were gonna say he uses it as like a weapon in a fight, and I was immediately gonna be like, well, you joke, but in my experience, you could like point that at someone's eye and cause damage.
Yeah, you
Are
could
you
cause
telling me he
fucking
does that and it
damage.
trickles?
Yeah,
Like that?
it does the exact
strikes
opposite of
me-
what I expected it to do.
Yeah, like that's either someone who has never been in a kitchen in their life, or someone who is specifically trying to make people who have worked in kitchens go.
It's like weird
Like trying to-
horror movie.
Yeah, like trying to glass someone in a bar fight, but it just goes pong and doesn't crack.
Oh.
Anyhow,
Oh, I
you,
saw a video of that happening, and it's so upsetting.
that's something that's weird about being like millennial through to Gen Z and younger is like you've probably seen some violence on the internet. Like sitting there going, "Oh yep, that hand's been chopped off because I clicked a Lively link when I was 13." Okay, I guess that's in my brain now.
Yep.
Speaking of stuff that's in your brain, you mumble up. You've got your robes on. You haven't even thought about putting them and the mask on. You've got your clipboard ready. You and Croquill make your way up to the bay. There's a bit of an overhang, like the sorting goes on above. They've got a little elevator inside, but you bypass the bay, go into the office. You guys have been here at Sepulchre Station, is the name of the town, for long enough. You've come and gone. If anything, based on your interactions with this place, it's not Sepulchre Station, it's the Bent Anchor, and there's also a rookery in the town.
I mean,
But
yeah.
sure enough, you guys have almost become locals. How do you feel about it, both of you?
Sun doesn't get it. Sun does not understand what the bent anchor is all about. He's like, man, most places where you get wings ain't like this one. Can't quite put my finger on why.
I feel like
There's-
Croquill is like... Croquill's digging the energy, but like is also just like, if I wasn't on this boat, I would have no reason to be here. There is nothing for me in this town.
I do like the fact that Sun brings some Hank Hill energy to the pirate ship, which I didn't need it on a pirate ship, but you do.
Yeah. He doesn't really think very hard, but the things he thinks about too much.
It's like, if you're gonna have a rambunctious pirate ship energy, you gotta have someone that, like, the dirty jokes are a wink at, who goes, what?
What? Yeah.
What?
You guys stumble into the main office, hit your orders for the day. You're supposed to meet with your instructor, it looks like tomorrow at... It just says morning. There's a shorthand, like, there's a couple of things, like, if someone says dawn, they mean 6 a.m. If they say dusk, they mean 6 p.m.
Yeah.
If they say noon, they mean right at night. But, like, morning just means morning.
Alright, well,
On it is.
seems a little vague, don't you think?
I don't know. Dawn is a pretty exact time.
Well,
Morning isn't.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's not what they said, though, ain't it?
That's true. Morning is morning, but like, we're in the morning shift. Like, they operate in shifts, right? So like, the morning shift is just you pick it up and hopefully you're back by noon, maybe. Probably back by like mid-afternoon.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
It's a long haul anyways, we could just leave now. The Rooker is like... There's some random dude who was like leaning up against the wall to stay out of the way while filling out some paperwork, and on the other side of that dude, the Rooker just kind of leans forward. You wouldn't be able to tell them apart. These are all differently sized and shaped people who are in black robes and white masks. Even though everyone kind of like stands out from each other, it has like a Where is Waldo-y anonymity to it.
Yeah.
Only way you can tell this guy's the instructor is because he's the guy with like the rope thing around his neck.
Huh, that single piece of flair that we're allowed. For me, it's my cane. And bird. It's a combo.
One piece of flair.
Yeah, one piece of flair. I'm blind. That's my flair.
I thought your bird was your flair.
Yeah, but I also need the cane to walk, so like...
I see.
What's your flair?
Gun.
Yeah, I feel like most people's flair is probably their weapon.
Yeah.
So what time you thinking then?
I mean...
I'm not so bothered, so it seems more on your schedule. We got long haul and lots of open sea.
We're pretty much set to leave whenever.
Yeah, I mean, we could leave now.
Alright, I'll get some crates, meet you on deck 6.
Alright, sounds good.
Okay. You guys get up to leave, and this dude, like, obviously intends to get up to leave, but as you guys have already left the door, he is still going through the process of intending to leave.
Huh. Okay.
Did you notice that guy when we walked in? I didn't even notice him.
No, if I'm being honest, I didn't really pay much attention.
Neat trick. Let's head back.
All right. Heading back.
You begrudgingly make your way back to the ship. Everyone's kind of just sitting around, chuckling. You hear a dong, as it sounds like nearby, like there's a prostrate church bell that's been rung by a rock at a distance.
Jane, I thought I told you to stop harassing the locals.
I'm not. Jane says, quickly hiding the pile of rocks next to her.
Where
Well,
did you
I
get
mean,
rocks? So what dock are we at, Will? If we have to go to 6.
You're currently outside the bent anchor, so you're not at 6.
Okay, we need to get to 6.
all right, back to dock 6 it is.
Begrudgingly, people kind of like rouse and get to work. Kennedy doesn't leave the musician's room. Kennedy is in the transport. Yes.
Yeah, nah, he's pretty focused.
Yeah, sounds about right.
You take some time to kind of like, unmoor yourself gently. You loosen up the ropes, back off of the dock a little bit, and then catch some wind. You move kind of like with the traffic a little ways, and then peel off, do a big circle, get a bit past the rookery. Right now it's noon. It's like, the middle of the day. Like there's some fishing ships going, there's some trader ships going. So you kind of have to go past where you need to and then rejoin the file of ships so that you can turn onto the port side and get into the dock. You get into 6, and you can see that the Rooker is just kind of sitting there at the edge of the dock with, 3 crates in his hand and then, 6 or so nearby. You guys, for the previous mission, were, moving pallets and pallets every day. So, this is barely anything.
Is this it?
Mm-hmm.
I thought there'd be more.
Nope. This is, for the Rookery service, mostly at cost. He starts loading on the ship crates.
All right, I'm helping him out.
It doesn't take very long. It's just like a couple, so you don't even bother. You just carry him down the ladder and put him in the cargo bay. You don't even need to like move the chair around or clear space or anything. You just kind of put them near like the wall on one side, near the wall on the other side. All their serial numbers are visible. Easy enough.
Perfect.
You can see him sitting there, and he goes, "All right, so we got to go to Dragon Isles, Rapture Island, Nonce Island, Hermit Island, and Development."
All
We
right,
should have
you're
gotten a
the
map.
boss.
We should have gotten a map. Okay.
Well, sure, you got a map, right?
No. Not for this far south.
Oh, jeez. Okay. You can see him starting to like flitter through the maps, and he goes, "Right. So, one of them that's away from the rest. Lots of them are in the same kind of run, but if you go to what is that? 9, and he flips it and he moves upside down. J9.
Okay, one sec. I need to get everyone's camera back because it didn't.
Oh no!
For some reason, it reset all of your cameras and nothing was loading. Okay.
Oh.
It's like we joined the call in the wrong order and we all got shuffled around.
There we go. J9.
Yeah, so like up there in the Lagoon ways.
Okay. So we need to head to all the aisles in here?
I'll explain more when we get there.
Okay, to Lagoon we go.
Yep, sounds like it.
Anyhow, and then, let's see. We got a little bit south of town. There's, what is that? 10? I-10. Yeah, there's the little island. Little, black triangle on it there.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the...
Okay, so we
That's,
also need to get to here.
Yeah, so that's gonna be Rapture Island. And then...
Why they call it that?
Oh, you'll find out. And then if you just go one over there, a little bit further eastward to H10.
And we're heading to the bottom of the fucking world.
Man, I wish Arcturian Steves would just map it up. I mean, we've all been there, right?
Oh,
yeah,
I
totally.
mean, we've all been there.
Right.
So which island is it here?
Right, well, there's two close together.
Yeah.
Those are, well, we got Hermit Island and Development Island. And then the one a little bit further south is Nonce Island.
Okay. So I guess, in that case, where am I going? I-9 again. There we go. So I guess our goal is to head towards that little bay over in J9.
It could be in any order, it's up to you.
Well, I mean, it makes sense to go sort of to the closest
Wait,
ones
are we
first,
coming
and then...
back here afterwards?
Yeah, at the end.
All right. Well, I think that we should go to the closest one first, and the closest one to that. You know, I've been thinking actually. You know, it's an interesting problem. How do you get if there's a bunch of places you need to get to? What's the fastest route that you could go through all of them? And I've been thinking about a couple ways to solve this here problem.
Uh-huh. Does this have something to do with bullets?
No, it's so. You know what? This is a stupid bit.
It's a stupid bit for your out of context thing to say that you created an AI for pathing.
Sounds like
I've been thinking about it a lot. Okay.
Sounds like the complexity of this problem is hard.
I'm expecting fucking Tiana to just be like, well, there are many theories about how that's supposed to go down.
Yeah, well, you know, an old school friend of mine, school friend of mine.
It is kind of neat when it is kind of neat whenever like real life bleeds into descriptions a little bit because all of you guys, it's all the same, like, obscure computer nonsense. Whereas here, it's just like, I'll describe rocks in a bit too much detail. Maybe.
And I'll maybe get it.
Hey.
And I'll be the head.
Nice. Head's pretty nice. Head's pretty based.
Yeah.
And that was Voltron, Legendary Defender.
So where to first? You've got Dragon Island off in that kind of lonely lagoon.
I think we're heading to Dragon Island in the lagoon. I was thinking we might want to finish off with that one because the other ones are in the other direction, and then we can kind of like boop boop. But doesn't really matter to me.
Sure. Whatever you guys want to do.
All right, Dragon Island.
That sounds great.
All right, it's about noon. It didn't take very long for you to get loaded, so you're here with Weird Guy. The wind, it looks, is heading... doing thoughts. It's going directly eastward. Or westward, I should say.
Doing thoughts, up top.
Heyo. Doing thoughts. It's a difficult thing with a live show is like I'll put all this work into the openers and then like flub 2 lines, or I'll be like thinking of something really florid and prosaic and I'll be like, yeah, the dark wood was dark and made of wood.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the fun thing with being live is the bad takes are the joke.
Yeah, like the HMS Bloodwine, I think you called it.
The village water?
Yeah.
The village of water?
Bloodwine.
Resident Evil Village.
There's a mod that turns Vampire Mommy into Thomas the Tank Engine.
Oh, good!
Of course there is. Why is it always Thomas the Tank?
Because his face gets even more scary.
Wait a minute. Is this the vampire mommy that I've been seeing on Reddit?
Yes.
Yes.
More than likely. I
This is
don't
from
know
Resident Evil?
This is from... Are you thinking of the very tall one in the white dress with the big hat and the long fingernails?
Yeah, that's
and the
Vampire
big,
Mommy.
Just very large breasts.
Oh, is that why she's vampire mommy?
Yeah.
She's also like 9
she
feet
is a
tall,
vampire,
I think.
and
She is 9 feet tall.
she is 9 feet tall.
Okay, because I've been seeing a lot of like stuff on Reddit of people being like,
It's just-
"This is."
It's a horror game, and she's a vampire, and she's stronger than a male protagonist and physically larger, and is all like, vampire stuff. So everybody on the internet horny posted and is like,
Yeah.
oh my god, mommy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been seeing.
Yep,
is
pretty
all
much.
this vampire
That's-
mommy stuff.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yes.
Yeah.
And now
It's
she's
wild.
Thomas the Tank Engine, and it's creepy as shit.
It is also wild the like depths to which people have horny posted about Lady Dimitrescu, because like she's not wearing like the horniest of outfits.
No.
She's wearing like a nice ball gown, but like
Yeah.
she's kind of just dressed like a person. It's just that all it took was like vampire tall dom, and the internet was like, okay, time to jack it live.
Yep, pretty much.
Time
Pretty
to
much.
Yeah.
time
We're
to
jacking it
DSP
live,
all
boys.
over it.
She wasn't... It's not an unhorny design, though. Like...
I
See, my argument is that it's not it's an unhorny design, but it is a not unhorny plot and usage. Like if Lady Dimitrescu was animated by a different team and doing scripts and saying different lines, you could totally have her be like prudish and freaky and a little bit weird and not deeply sexualized. Well, to be honest, if you make anybody over like 7 feet, the internet gets weird about it. But like,
because I've been seeing all this content on Reddit and like just confused because she just looks like a person.
Yeah.
she's
Like-
just a person.
Well,
Like-
but
And
by
so
all
again,
appearances,
but
yes.
but the 9 foot tall Dom mommy. Now I get it. You know.
Maybe it's just because I've hung out with like nerds and LARPers and shit for the past couple of years, but like I've met tall like dom people with wide hats before. You get through like 5 minutes and you're like, okay, I can have a conversation with a person.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about the internet, but there's just this like this hard switch of like there is only extremely overwhelming aggressive horniness,
Yeah.
or like ambivalence / disdain.
And,
You know?
Yeah.
And the best part is, it's always hyper focused on a single character at a time. Like, remember Bowsette?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Like, they just hard focus on one singular thing to be horny about for a little while, and then they move on. Move on
Well,
to other
it's-
things.
I feel like we need to normalize the idea of people who furries explicitly, because I'm just starting to get annoyed, and I want like to just know what fandom the memes come from, because half of them are from there, half of them are from kink people. Like, just it's where it's coming from. The
Yep.
internet leaks horny over everything, and it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
And I say this as someone who enjoys sexuality in my own life. It's just one of those things where it's like, I'm watching a Twitch stream, guys. I have sites for this that I go to in
Yeah.
that time. This is where I want to talk about gaming. Like,
Get out of the
Yeah.
hot tub and go on your merry way.
Yeah.
yeah. See, like, the hot tub streaming is a really good example of, like, this might be controversial, but I support the idea of creating a hot tub category, because it's like, just, if people are doing it that hard, and this is
Might
not
as
the
well.
first time, yeah, exactly. This is far from the first time that
There
Twitch
is
has had problems with people.
no possible way that Twitch can create rules to counter anything, because they create rules and people just go, well, we're allowed to do this, so we'll do this, and they find horniness finds a way.
It's
Especially because in the particular context of, like, internet infrastructure, Twitch is stealing its game from camming. Like,
Yeah.
cam girls came up with it first,
Yeah.
and then gamers were like, I can work with this.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Yeah.
Porn came first here.
Yeah.
Like, there's the joke that the internet is for porn, but, like, very distinctly in terms of live streaming, and in particular stuff like bits and fan interaction and subscriptions and stuff and that kind of stuff, a lot of that infrastructure comes directly from sex work. Like, we gotta show respect. We gotta
I
show
mean,
respect.
yeah, the highest trafficked sites are like in the
Yeah.
in the top 10, probably even top 5 sites.
Aside
It's
from,
porn
like,
sites.
Google.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it is true. It does all sort of stem from that. So I 100% agree, Will, where it's just like, just give them a category. Hell, monetize the category.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
monetize the category, congrats! You've solved your own problem by making money off of your problem.
It is that difficult thing where it's like, hey, Twitch, have you thought about chilling the fuck out and just taking the paycheck? People are coming to your site, they want to watch the titty streams, just partition.
Yeah,
Make sure
like-
that, like, kids don't accidentally click on this in the middle of, well, mom's at work and COVID, and she turns around and goes, oh no, Timmy's watching porn. Just make sure that there's enough partition so that you don't accidentally stumble into boob, and you're fine.
Yeah, just do it like the way Reddit does. I think they have, like, on default, you don't see any not safe for work posts. You have to, like, go and uncheck that.
Yeah.
Especially, like, I think that there's a difference between not safe for work and, like, 18 plus, and I think that's the difficulty with Twitch, is that, like, it has this 18 plus idea, which is just, it's the broad category of, like, this show is 18 plus. We talk about getting in fights, like, a session or two ago, there was, like, a choking moment that was very much like, oh god, I'm killing a person kind of thing. It wasn't just fun Marvel violence. We swear, fuck, shit, titty, hot tub stream. Exactly. We talk about politics, but that's the kind of thing where it's like, that's 18 plus, quote unquote, but really what that means is, like, it's not swearing, it's not for kids, right? Like, it's there so that there's a basic restriction, but there's a whole other level that's, like, explicit sexuality,
Yep.
and it has its place. There's an importance towards having that explicit sexuality, but, like, it's not even, it's one of those things where it's like, this is not about anger for or against, it's about a passion towards the importance of categorization.
Yeah.
Things have boxes. We create those boxes willingly. We choose what the boxes are.
Yeah, and we have those boxes, and we need to deliver them
Yeah.
to Dragon Isle.
We do.
Wow!
Boom!
What a-
Segue
what a
back into it.
transition.
We
That was
just went on a
beautiful.
fucking hell of a segue.
That was beautiful.
Anyways, in typical Bloodwine fashion, the wind is directly against you.
Nice.
Ah, Will, why?
Nice.
Will, this is all your fault.
So, yeah, are you guys going directly against it? You could also go perpendicular. There's a narrow channel. It's cut off between the two, but the island there with the, like, off to the side, eastward a little bit with the village on it.
Yeah.
There's a channel that goes down, like, within the midland, or within, like, the inland section.
I mean, we could probably just take that channel and be fine. Head south for a little bit.
Yeah.
And Will's like, you enter the channel of death!
I tricked you.
I'll just do that thing again where I sense the algae.
Yeah, I feel like I keep throwing, like, challenges at you guys and then remembering that you guys built characters for a pirate campaign and then being like, oh, right, I have to up the ante, like, 6%. Because I can't just throw a ship at you. You can beat a ship of similar intensity. That's fine. All of you are min-maxed to fuck. Like, I gotta throw blockades at your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so you're fighting literally Poseidon. What do you
Yeah,
do?
Poseidon, old pussy boy showed up.
So you make your way up to I-10, through the channel, and out into open water, kind of just... Yeah, it's not past the island, but the middle of, like, the next sector, basically.
Okay.
As it stands, it's a little past noon. You guys have been kind of killing time, so it's weird to just jump right into work, but you're starting to cruise off into this open bay, past some of these villages that are serviced by the other rookery. Oh, you're like 3 squares past where I meant, sorry.
Oh, okay. You said halfway through the sector, so I was like, okay. Halfway through the sector.
Sorry, that's my fault. Sometimes words come out and they're not the words that are supposed to be the words.
I did think we were traveling quite far for being perpendicular.
That's why we gotta double check the communicate. Still a little further than that. You got a little bit, like, 1 more square.
Oh, like there?
Even further, like a little bit out into open water a bit.
Why does this thing not want to move? God damn it. No, snap to. There.
Is there any way to turn off the snap?
There is, but it's not the problem with the snap to. It's literally a problem with my mouse that I need to buy a new one.
Oh.
Yeah.
How are you going to do your hardcore gaming?
I don't know.
Against the wind.
Yeah, against the wind, as I always do.
By now, it's the early afternoon. So far, you can see the rooker kind of just, like, puttering around the ship, killing time, like, sitting up, leaning against a mast. He's not being useless in any capacity, sailor. It's just, like, if he's next to a rope, he'll manage it. But otherwise, if you guys don't have anything to ask of him, he isn't. The wind moves kind of like a southwesterly, or a southeasterly, I should say.
I like southeasterly.
I'm gonna go get a water, I think.
Is Kanye still artificing?
Yep.
Have we told him that we're, like, moving?
I don't think he needs to know.
Well,
like, he'll come up when he's ready to come up. And then he'll be like, where are we?
Yeah,
we'll just say,
no,
well,
you're right.
We're halfway through one of our deliveries, and he'll just be like, okay.
Okay.
So you guys move quite a big distance. Are you going to cut it close and, like, clip through the traffic near those villages, or are you going to lose a bit of speed and kind of divert past them?
Kind of want to go for speed. I am speed.
Oh no! Oh, beans. Lightning McQueen keeps getting into all the other juices. Hang on. Fine.
You know, they made a cars and they made a plane, but they never made a boat.
That's true. They're keeping that under their trilogy hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gonna be like, I hate to say it, but that would be the Cars equivalent of the Hobbit trilogy.
Oh my god.
See, I want to say something like Disney has all these, like, hierarchical, like, plans, like, reserves on reserves and fail-safes on fail-safes. And that they're going, like, deeper into the bottom of the barrel, but, like, they hit that when they hit Cars. Like, 2 decades ago. And this is just kind of like, oh, this is a very deep barrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the fun thing about cars is that the guy who did say we should make cars did in fact want to do it. He did seem very enthusiastic about the idea of a world where cars.
Just because someone's enthusiastic about their world doesn't mean it's a good world.
No.
I mean, I don't want to say this show because this show was after like a couple of years of making sure the world was good, but before this show, the world was not good.
There were some issues.
There were some issues.
There was one in particular that there was one Twitter-worthy yikes.
Remember when Torgs could be mind controlled?
Yep, and that's why we playtest, and that's why we take a minute to think about the mechanics we put into our games and think,
As a
if I put this
racial
into a
feature, a Torg could be told what to do and it was forced to obey, even if it was like, you murder your wife. Go!
So as a general rule, if you put something into a document, leave it there long enough that you can walk away and come back to it with fresh eyes, so you can sit there and go, I don't know about this. And if someone sits there and goes, I don't know about this, listen.
The best part about that was the first time I built a Torg, it was like, yeah, whatever. The second time I built a Torg, I built it specifically that if anyone ever gave me an order, I would be able to counter it and then murder the fuck out of them.
Yeah, and that's the
and
thing.
no
like,
one ever gave me an order.
And that was it. That was the nail in the coffin of like, that's proof that this is yikes, is that someone built like a character on like comedically subverting it, and I couldn't rationalize a situation that wasn't like somehow fucked up. Like, just don't make people controllable.
Yeah.
Like, whether or not that has anything to do with, like, people being told what to do or connotations or whatever, like, just even from a game design perspective, don't make mechanics that are about the player not choosing something.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
If you're going to do something like that, at least let them choose the thing they're not choosing. Be like, oh, you're mind controlled, but I'm still going to let you choose how you're mind controlled. Like, you're now against the party. Do some dastardly shit, but don't be too mean, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we play test.
Yep, that's why we play test. So how far do we move? The wind's going with us.
So you guys are clipping close to the villages, deliberately trying to save a bit of time. That's going to be a... You make it, like 4.5 squares. You come close enough to the villages that, just like how it is most of the places, like portside, like most of the ships go one way, and then a bit further off, not necessarily the way that roads are nowadays with lanes, but like there's more zones that ships go one way and they go another, and you try not to go. Yeah. The ones that are coming the other way, you kind of rejoin almost like going down a highway and then going down the traffic of like a small town and then continuing on. You go through one, through the other, and then just reach the mouth of the bay. It's now the late afternoon. Most of the ships, it looks like, are behind you. From here, there's just kind of open water.
Well, I guess this is what he meant by long haul. So how long does this journey usually take?
Oh, depends on the weather.
I guess this is my fault for asking. Yeah, no, I suppose that's true.
Do you guys sail through dinner?
Yeah, like we can kind of take shifts. I mean, we're out in open water. We're not going to hit anything. We can kind of like I'll sail for a bit while the people have dinner, and then.
All right. The wind shifts slightly to like a southward kind of pull. You lose a bit of speed, but you're still going like towards the east right now, so you're able to keep a steady wind, like kind of perpendicular. You're able to catch it with some velocity. The light's starting to get low. It's just you, water, and shore on either side. One of them is like a sharply crested mountain that kind of rises like a shield towards the far southwest, or southeast, I should say. To the north and northeast, you can see it's a similar landform, but a lot more distant. You can't see the peak from here. You can just see the distant form it makes and kind of the faded colors of the horizon. Nearby to you, there's some plains that slowly rise up to the peak that's beyond another. You move a
whopping
2.5 squares.
Yeah.
At this point, you've traded off between who's in the wheel, who's like throwing some food down your gullets. It's currently evening. You could push a little bit further, but it wouldn't be like nobody would really raise their nose if you were to stop for the night.
Well, we do have someone on board.
Chelsea, are you muted? Have you been muted this entire time?
Yes.
Oof.
Oh no.
Oof.
I haven't really said anything, so...
Yeah, I noticed you were laughing at me before, but that's about it.
Anytime that I get up, I mute the mic because I always like turn to Maya and I'm like, oh, what a good girl. So I, gotta have the mic muted
Yeah.
for when I do that.
It's on instinct.
Yeah, and then I forget to turn it back on.
All right, so you were saying?
Yeah.
I was. Are you talking about me? What I was muttering?
Yeah.
Will made a comment like, "Who's throwing food down your gullet?" And I was like, "Who's the food thrower now?" Thinking that we're taking turns throwing food into each other's mouths.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, a little light choking hazard. You know?
Okay, it could either get really weird, or we can turn it into like a carnival game where someone is like standing on the dock and we're just throwing like chicken at their mouth.
Yeah.
Huh. You made me think of the concept of like a sex carnival.
Anyways, so
you go on a ride 2 ways.
Oh, hi, it's me.
So, do you guys stop for the night, or do you keep going a little while longer?
I think we stopped for the night.
Yeah.
We made good progress.
Will wisely did not let me continue to explore that character I was coming up with.
I was literally about to state a name and everything, and then I was about to go along with it, and Will talked, and I was like, okay, no, not.
Yeah. Alright, sleeping for the night.
There's still some time before bedtime, like you have time to like grab a drink or exchange an anecdote, that kind of thing. Do a bit of deck swabbing, do a bit of crafting.
Throw a bit of food in your mouth.
Hey Jane, do you think you could throw this popcorn chicken in my mouth from across the deck?
See, popcorn chicken feels risky, because like a piece of popcorn, it's very light, it's very crunchy, like that you could just right? But I'm thinking of like, the extra big chunks you get in like westernized Chinese food?
Oh, yeah.
Like one of those, that's just a recipe for like, what?
Yeah.
I rolled a...
Eh?
25 to throw the chicken in your mouth from across the deck.
Nice.
Nice. Good job.
Nice.
Good job. I feel like Warbles grabs it instead.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where like, Quill, you're sitting there and like, you don't even notice there's like a piece of chicken coming at you, and then Warbles just goes.
If you throw food at your pet, that's a fun game. If a stranger throws food at your pet, that's I think very rude.
That's like
this might be
reason
the
for homicide.
Yeah.
Yes, like this might be the paranoid part of me, but if someone throws food at my pet, I presume it's poison.
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
I presume that you were like, yes, a neighborhood pet that I will now bait with food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The internet has ruined that for me. I definitely would think the same.
Yep.
We had a guy, like an aunt and uncle of mine had a cottage up north for a while that we'd go there as kids, and like while we were there as kids, like you weren't supposed to walk your dogs up a certain stretch of path. And they were like, why? And it's like, there's just one dude, and he lived in a rural enough part of Canada that could do this shit and presume nobody else would be on their property. And like the dude would just put poison for dogs and other pests all over his property, like specifically this dude, it wasn't like this was pesticide that the dude should have known was harmless for dogs. It was like, this dude didn't like dogs. He didn't want you walking near his property. If your dog ate something on his property, it was probably gonna die. And like, for the longest time, there was just this weird, nasty dude who wouldn't talk to anyone in the middle of cottage country. Like, and you couldn't walk your dogs near his house, or if you did, they stayed on the road on a tight leash while you walked past this like one property.
Man.
Fucked up.
What a hateful guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there's gotta be a level of fucked up that you breach where it's like, I am going to actively make sure that like nobody gives me the mild inconvenience of stepping across my lawn
Yeah.
by inflicting immediate bodily harm upon their pet. Like it's one of those things where it's like, it's the definition of psychopathic, where it's like, this isn't even a high level of like fucked up things going on. But
Yeah.
overreact
Yeah.
by so
Holy
much.
shit.
The water has an unusually high wave, like a large, broad one that you can feel. It doesn't jostle the ship much, but it surges and lowers.
Interesting.
Someone's gone by on a jet ski.
Yeah, that was my thought too.
When I used to row, coaches used to do that to fuck with other boats. like there was healthy competition when we were on the waters, and the boats are really low to the ground. They're designed to be really low to the ground.
Yeah.
And so the coaches would just be like, "Hey, fuck you," and just like rev it for a little bit. They would swell us, and we would just be like, "You fucking asshole." It was never like when we're doing like serious training. It was just always when we're in a fucking around kind of zone. But like,
Yeah.
oh my god, that was the worst fucking thing ever because there was nothing you could do. You just see the swell coming, and you're like, well,
Especially like when you're in a small like canoe or kayak, you can compensate by like adjusting your body. But if you're in like a large like competitive rowing canoe, it's like there's too many people. You're bracing for something. Like you've got these like fucking paddles out to fuck. You're just kind of sitting there going.
the worst part. The worst part is it doesn't really do the whole like up down thing. It just kind of it runs along the boat, and you just see it getting higher and higher and higher, and then you're like, no, don't be me, don't be me. It passes one guy, passes two guy, you're soaked.
Oh,
You're just like, it was me.
it was you.
It
You
was
were the
me.
bad rowing boy this time.
I'm Boo Boo the Fool.
Yep.
In the like towards the east, over the mountains, you see faintly the way that like the distant peak to the north is outlined in the horizon. Archway.
An archway?
An archway.
Wait, where again?
Like over the mountains to the east.
Huh. Is
Okay.
it big?
An arched way.
Is
The
it
tail
yellow?
comes up and it goes beneath the mountains.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Scary. Don't like him.
It's dragons.
Dragons, kraken, giant fucking whale.
Yeah.
Well, that's nerve-wracking. All right.
Yup. Crowquill, did you,
Nope,
Did you
didn't
feel
do
that?
anything. Not doing anything. Not touching that. Unless I
Right,
absolutely
so-
have to, I am not touching that.
So we
Alright.
have a special customer around here who requires an interpreter. The Rooker's kind of slyly made his way up to near you.
Oh, don't sneak up on me like that. You scared me.
What language does the guy speak that requires an interpreter?
The Rooker looks like he's about to answer your question, but everybody, you're all transfixed again to the east as over the mountains, and then to the near side of the mountains, the archway comes again. You see almost like the scale of the landscape itself. There's a maw that goes beneath the waves, and then a body follows, following with it in momentum like a snake.
Should we get the hell out of here? I don't know if we should go towards that thing.
No. It's fine.
No offense, but I'm not sure that we have the same definition of fine. You seem to be comfortable with a severe lack of control.
Well, around here in the boonies, and you can see the second surge, like, past the island. By now, you've gotten another one of those, like... It's not a... I should say, this isn't, in a boat sense, like a harsh surge. It's a very gentle but huge one. Like, the scale is so big, your boat's fine. There's another surge that goes by. You go up a few meters and down. You see the maw come march and down into the sea. The guy looks calm and goes... Anyways, I was saying, out here in the boonies, people come out here in isolation, peace. Sometimes you're gonna come across some, maybe a little fighty, some intimidating clients. Nearby, the head surges out. Good hunt.
Okay. I'm gonna go see if the apparatus is still functional. We're gonna maybe have to get the hell out of here.
Is that the thing that requires interpretation?
Yes, who here is strong of mind and magic?
Wait, we're delivering mail to the giant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be me.
All right. Oh, are there any letters for Dragon Isle? It should be based on the postage system Dragon Isle, comma twice, just because there's only one address here.
It's just Dragon Isle.
It's
Yeah,
just Dragon.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there?
You go.
Am I go look?
You look through, and there is, with like really deliberate gold filigree, 2 different notes that are there that need interpretation.
All right. Well, I got them here. They weren't kind enough to write them in like a braille sort of system, so I guess I'll dictate to Crowquill, and Crowquill will dictate to the Isle Dragon.
Well, if it needs
right.
does it need any more interpretation? Like, what's going on?
Give me a Druid roll.
Okay. Damn it. 22.
You are to this creature as Warbles is to you. It's listening.
Oh. Good. Hello. Alright, what do we got for him?
Well, so, son, you unfurl the letter, you dictate, and the creature listens through Crowquill. One of them is both of them are brief diplomatic letters. One of them explains that the ships will no longer be blockading near the Soth Project, provided that these same ships will not be attacked by sea monsters. They are willing to offer 2 whales per month in compensation to maintain the trade deal. The next one is from the Northern Seas, also from the Imperials. They will no longer send attack ships to, like, the boat folk near the Dragon Isles, so long as they are also freed from attacks from sea monsters. And they are offering 4 whales per month.
Yeah, those both seem like pretty generous offers.
It's a lot of whales per month.
It's hard to get a good...
Okay. Is there any sort of dictation needed for this?
Who has a letter ready for transcription?
I'll have one ready.
Yeah.
All right. Crowquill, I'm going to leave it to you how you describe this to your party. There is a sequence of images that flood your mind. You have a sense of temporality to them. They are from before the apocalypse. You see surges of sea. You see the shaping of mountains. There's a heaving and a shifting. The heat comes and goes as the like ebbs and flows. The time moves forward and you see the hell of all things. You see towers beyond your construction comprehension. Things of great scale beyond what a stone tower could possibly accomplish. Things that come from elven schematics that have long since fallen, being torn apart in one great snap by the jaws of a beast. You see flame and you see a city start to melt. Here, you see something that you feel is contemporaneous. There is a great, near the edge of the desert, a lake that is entered and exited by a large, broad river on either side. Beneath it, there is a red glowing that comes and goes, like the breathing something else of such a scale beneath the earth. There is an image of 5 whales.
After all of that, 5 whales.
5 whales.
Okay, so I'm thinking something like, I am very old and powerful.
No, like Croquill literally just goes, no, 5 whales.
To the first one or the second one?
No, 5 whales.
I think it wants 5 whales.
The first?
That's what he's telling me. No, 5 whales.
Yeah, it's not complicated to figure out. The man wants 5 whales.
Yeah, but there's 2 separate letters here. Is he responding to the first one or the second one?
It's a matter of efficiency, clearly.
Look, he speaks in brain thought. And what he showed me was no 5 whales. He's gonna wreck some shit. 5 whales.
As you say, like, he's gonna wreck some shit, 5 wood. You kind of go 5 wood, and then, like, thought starts to flood into your mind. You see a place you've seen before, distantly, the Empress's Tower standing above East Landing. You see a hurried, like, walking. This is atemporal. This is not something that has taken place, but there is a surge. Distantly, you see what must be far to the north, someplace you haven't been in the jungles, but someone in noble regalia throws a throwing knife at a picture of the Empress. Distantly, there's a rat folk who is appeasing a crowd. For a moment, you see a map start to curl up in flames as all of it starts to turn the same color of ash. 5 whales.
No 5 whales.
Got it. No 5 whales. I'm gonna write it out twice.
Be sure to underline it and a couple of exclamation marks. I cannot make this clear enough. 5 whales.
Got it. 5 whales.
He's real firm on this one.
Got it. 5 whales.
5 whales.
The figure surges beneath the sea again and starts to slither off. You see it curl and kind of lean against the mountain. There's a divot where it's kind of just resting as it goes off towards the far side of the ocean.
I show you the letter, and it's just N-O exclamation point 5 underlined 3 times whales exclamation point.
5 whales.
Croquill just goes, yeah, I'm gonna go lie down.
All right.
You ever wonder why you never see a rookery ship get hit by a sea demon?
No, I just assumed that that's just one of the inherent risks of sea travel.
Oh, that's the great thing about wearing the mask. No sea monsters. Certified. And he points towards just the sky where that creature...
Cool. Sea monsters. They like to get their mail.
So how many whales did that particular arrangement take?
Oh, just mail service.
Sorry, did you say whale service or mail service?
Well, the man has to send letters.
And he needs to
does he,
receive
though?
his packages.
Of course.
Are they gonna send the whales via rookery ships?
Usually those just get dumped off of a cargo ship.
And Kroko, like, pops her head up. FYI, we may want to head north at some point. I think there's someone who wants to kill the Empress. Not too sure about that. Yeah, and goes back down to go take a nap.
No, hang on. You can't just deliver a bomb like that. Come back here.
I'm gonna turn to like Tiana and be like, "Isn't that us?"
Yeah.
Tiana just sits there and goes, well, Sun said it was non-lethal.
Yeah, unfortunately, no, we weren't trying to kill her. I mean... Okay, so it's not us this time.
Hey, Rooker, you got any ginger back there? Just
I think I've got ginger. What do you want, like a ginger lemon tea? Just some root?
Just, like, pour it down my throat?
Okay, I will pour a medium hot liquid.
Alright, should we get the hell out of the Dragon Isles?
Yeah, I would very much like to get the hell out of the Dragon Isles.
Well, you just stopped after dinner.
Yeah. I think we're good.
Crowquill has now made it to her bed and has pulled a chamber pot right up next to her bed. And is now lying in bed. Curtains closed.
Poor Crowquill.
All right. So, they could have covered that in a bit more, detail before we left.
The Rooker is kind of like clambering down the hatch, kind of shrugs and goes, I mean, could we really?
Yeah.
Would you have bought it?
I mean, it doesn't matter if we buy it or not. It just seems like a safety. Well, I suppose you were here for the first one. That would have been good because we probably would have tried to, fight our way out of that one. That's kind of our
Well,
general approach to everything.
That's why you have an instructor, Different parts of the
suppose.
job require a different sort of... Anyhow, I'm gonna get some sleep.
All right.
Dragons.
Have good sleep.
The night passes slowly. You awaken at a couple of moments where it feels like the sea is surging more than it should. Dawn comes.
We should get the hell out of here. Let's get out of the Dragon Isle. We should have left last night. I don't know why we're still here.
The best part was Will said that, like, occasionally some creatures come here to relax. And I'm imagining this sea demon now running a B&B on the Dragon Isle.
Oh, that'd be fun.
It's just like,
A little-
are you the Kennedys? I have you until next week. Is that correct?
Oh, God.
Meals are from 4 till 6.
Yeah.
You can use the pool room till 11 p.m.
People ask what's like on the menu, and he just flashes images of like a grilled chicken.
God. Oh my God. You dumb man.
You see the life and death of the chicken, the growth and withering of the cabbage.
Mountains in the distance.
You watch as all the burgers decay into dust, only to be replaced by their dinner menu.
You guys sit there as your breakfast is remaining solid as you eat it. As is its desired state, not decaying into dust like lost centuries of fallen civilizations.
Yeah, that's my least favorite lunch.
The wind is bearing a steady westward.
the dust of lost civilizations is your least favorite lunch?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically like doing a cinnamon challenge. It's really bad. You start choking on it.
It's all dry.
Yeah.
Cinemacins don't have the balls to tackle this one, boys.
Man, what a quote. Okay.
Binging with
Continue.
Babish provides a recipe for the dust of fallen civilization.
You would too, it'd be delicious.
2 parts cumin, 1 part pepper, and it's an all-purpose seasoning.
I love that dude.
I don't know why. I'm like, some part of me is like, I feel like I should be like, hey, Binging with Babish, if you see this, do something better than that. That seems like something I pulled out of my ass. But it's like, is that guy gonna see this and be like, ah, yes, this stream with 7 people watching.
Yeah.
That's the one whose recipe I'm gonna copy. That's gonna get me SEO. Everyone here is Googling Bloodwine and scrolling past the result that's like part of the Star Trek wiki talking about some Klingon shit.
Yeah. They say Klingon shit? No, thank you. Not what I'm here for. Try again.
I'm here for the dope ass game where we travel across the land in boats.
Yeah.
Dead. Wind go west.
Wind go west?
You guys sailing west?
We go west.
We go west too if wind go west.
You unfurl your sails to the capacity that's capable. You're catching a lot of the wind, moving as fast as you possibly can.
Right.
You move 4.5 squares to the next sector.
Okay.
You can see that there's a town and some like sea travel happening to the south of you. According to your maps, you have to keep going though.
I am perfectly okay with keeping going.
Yep. Keep on moving. Keep on keeping on.
It's the early morning. You can see that the fishing boats are starting to make their way out onto the water. The wind shifts again to like a northeast kind of direction.
All right.
To go directly to the closest island would be like against the wind. You could go east or south. Or sorry, west or south, I would say.
I feel like we want to go south. That's where that's where we're headed, eh?
I think so.
Was it this island or was it... yeah, it was that island that we had to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm fine with that. Crowquill's up in the crow's nest doing her usual seeing through Warble's eyes thing and just trying to fend off a moment of existential dread.
Yeah.
She's been noticeably paler since she woke up and got out of bed.
You start to sail further south. You're within kind of like sailing range of the town, outside of the traffic, and starting to turn towards the east. Or the west, I should say. The wind shifts one more time. This time it's going directly eastward. You're going to have to tack back and forth with the wind to get to where you need to be. It's like the late morning, getting closer to...
So where does our pen move to?
You've moved down to, like, the town.
Okay.
And then from here, the wind is still pointing away. Like, the wind is coming from the island, basically.
Okay. So the usual. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The huge.
Yeah, there's not much we can really do about that.
The wind starts to pick up, like, in a really nasty way. You actually have to let loose your sails and, like, kind of drift for a moment, as it takes a moment to, like, settle down a bit. For too long, you're able to start tacking with the wind, but it's still kind of aggressive. You barely move, like, a couple of squares. A little more. By now, it's noon. What's for lunch?
Oh, well, don't ask son. I'm going up and asking our onboard chefman.
He shrugs and he goes, well, they've got a lot of stuff up at the town, the Sepulchre station, so we've got pork, salt salt pork. I've got some of the fresh stuff. I thought I was going to make some chops tonight. Let's see. We've got stockfish. We've got stockfish. We've got stockfish. And he points as like there's like a couple different hooks that all have a bunch of stockfish hanging off of them. Big like dried fish in case you need extra meat. He goes, ooh, and he points and he goes, barrel of flour. Barrel of flour.
I think I will have some salt pork.
Okay, so like maybe like some grilled vegetables alongside that, some mashed potatoes. Come on, cook.
I will cook a potato.
I'm going to consider that a challenge.
Me cooking a potato, or just sort of the concept of?
You are drowned out by the sound of pots and pans clanging together.
Intentionally. Like, I feel like Rooker has two of his hands like doing the actual cooking, the other one's just kind of going.
He's just like fakely being like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm dropping this. Meanwhile, he's like flawlessly doing like the sizzle flip thing in one of the pans. I'm just so clumsy.
Oh, no.
Well, you move forward a little ways. You're waiting for the ship. You're waiting for the wind to start to shift a little. It's very slight. It goes to like a northwesterly, so you're able to tack against the wind a little bit more directly. Here, as you make your way off to mostly open ocean towards one of these islands, it's still pretty scarce. You have to kind of like lose ground and then do like these awkward S-shaped maneuvers to gain it back, but you just barely make it to the town
Okay.
There's like there's an island and it's on the near side, so you see it immediately angle that you approach from. There's a smaller one ahead that has a little lighthouse on it. This is Rapture Island.
Rapture Island.
Why do they call it this?
Hopefully
Who's
not,
that
because
question
there's
posed to?
another sea demon there.
It's posed to our instructor.
Oh, well, you know, they're preparing for the rapture.
If they wanted the rapture, they can just go a little bit east and give them some whales. Or refuse to give them some whales.
Or
That'll work just as well.
Or only give him 4 whales.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seemed pretty reasonable about his whale requests, from what I saw.
I mean,
Well, there's something like 30 people here. I reckon if they all showed up on the same boat, he'd just go, okay, popcorn chicken.
Don't like that. Don't like that one bit.
I think at that point.
Well,
it'd
I
be
don't
more
like this island
krill.
either, but
I think the boat is the
Oh.
equivalent of popcorn.
well, in any case, and he gestures onward. It's like the late evening.
Huh.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess we got mail to deliver here, eh?
There's
Probably don our robes.
Yeah.
like the pier is unattended. You dock uneventfully, and it's a little ways up from the coast to get to. You want to say town, but it's kind of just a compound.
There's a all right. Let's dock and find out what got these locals all fired up.
You throw them over, start to make your way up. You get up to the compound, and there's a big set of gates. They see that you're approaching, and they open them just a crack. There's a follower who comes out in like pale robes, holding like a box. Goes, "Is there any mail for us?" The instructor with you just kind of like shakes a head. Goes, "Okay. Well, we have the flyers, of course."
Right.
He hands out a box.
Where are these being sent? I guess we just send it back to our facility and they sort them out there, eh?
Yeah, general distribution.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me if this is inappropriate, and you can hear the rooker, like, is instructing you quietly, kind of bracing. And, you know, you with your boat and your outfits, you're also beautiful.
Hmm.
Do you like beauty?
No. I find it's generally a best practice to focus on functionality and then incorporate some minor aesthetics.
Points at Otto.
Okay. The guy just goes back inside and they close the gates. Distantly, you can hear singing in the compound.
I wonder what that was all about. Are people
Oh, just-
usually sort of asking philosophical questions about beauty?
Well, you know, and the rooker kind of pontificates a little. Some folk are, you know, way. Looks over his shoulder and goes, "Okay, we're forward." Oh, when they're cults, yeah.
Oh, is that?
Mm-hmm.
So, is it even ethical to be delivering these flyers?
Well, that's the thing. You get back to the boat and he goes, "Unmoor, have you ever opened one of these crates before?"
No.
Well, this is, you know, and he points, magically, like, you feel a little, the way that people do in class, there's, like, a little skin that's used to, like, highlight points and threads and clouds. You feel that the guy points at you, goes, "You, Crowquill, and, Bilgeface." The guy goes, "Yeah. Right, you know the crates, how it's like this big magic thing, all elaborate? I've always thought this was devious. They're all these things are to defend against someone who is opening the crate at the wrong time. This magic. All you have to do is, if you're supposed to open it, you just... Isn't that great?"
I mean, it's pretty. I'm sure.
Crowquill just kind of like
Set up.
shows her like coin purse, and it's just like, I do the same thing pretty much.
Yeah. Right, anyhow, you know, I actually never thought about that. No one reaching into your coin purse who isn't supposed to be paying for something you want. That'd be a good way to do it.
It is
but-
quite effective, I assure you.
But what happens if you want your money and your coin purse doesn't think it's time to purchase a whatever it is you're buying?
My coin purse knows when I'm ready to buy something.
Hmm.
By which I mean the ritual is specifically cast so that only I can open the coin purse.
Well, see,
And
that's
anyone
that's-
else gets a shock.
No, that's just a completely different.
Yeah, but I
Thing
don't.
that you're
You don't need to
describing,
know
though.
that. You don't need to know shit.
Oh man.
The more woo I make it for you,
The more I despise you, actually. is
Yeah,
how it goes.
exactly.
The more upset I am.
it's fine.
Oh, man. So, yeah, you guys make your way back to the ship. You unmoor, you start to sail away. As you're, like, a little bit out of view of the ship towards the one side, the rooker goes, "So, you got a crowbar? Who wants to do the honors? We gotta open this now."
Oh, we gotta open it now. I thought we weren't supposed to open the mail.
Not till it's at its appointed delivery location.
And is it at its pointed delivery location? I can't read what it says, but I'm assuming it's not.
Well, give me a crowbar and we'll find out.
Okay, I hand the guy a crowbar.
Crowquill is against this, but also not doing fucking anything to stop it.
Okay, so it's my demonstration then. Alright, and he goes and he just jams the crowbar in and cracks open the crate. Everyone else, you just watch this, but Bilgy visibly cringes, and Crowquill, it feels like someone just diffused a bomb, but like bull rushed it. But just opens. He goes and takes out the flyers, unfurls them, reads them openly. You can see they say, like, "Only the ripest fruit is ready for harvest. Is your body and mind ready? Beauty is the only way." And this goes on into, like, a cult flyer.
Don't like that.
Yes,
No,
it's the...
sir.
Yep. As I suspected, and he gives you kind of like a gesture with a crowbar, and he goes, "Desired delivery location." And he just empties the crate out into the open sea.
Well, no, hang on. That doesn't.
I nod at this. Like,
Hang on,
yep,
no. That seems kind of. That doesn't seem like that's what we're supposed to be doing here.
Comes back, puts the crate down, closes it, and goes, "Well, you know, the rookery is about making sure that the right messages get delivered on. And sometimes that's about, you know, making sure that it goes right and the mail goes where it needs to. And some of that is making sure that you don't wake up every week with a new recruitment flyer telling you to go to an island in the middle of the sea and devote your body to be harvested."
But what makes you the judge, jury, and executioner on who gets mail?
The guy goes in and takes out like a little license. He passes it to you so you can see. He's licensed with, it's the RSB, the Rookery Services Bureau. You see that the guy's listed as a licensed social worker.
Well,
That
can't
doesn't
argue
mean
with
shit
that.
to me. If you haven't noticed, I'm not exactly sociable.
Well,
Yeah, I haven't. We haven't noticed that, Croakquill.
Oh, thank you, son.
Look, we got the box. I think that makes us eligible to make the decision on the box.
I cannot comprehend that logic, but okay.
well, you know, there's the Rookery Services Bureau will give more elaborate trainings, but, well, put it this way. If you think that a box might contain some dangerous information, or it might be coming from a suspicious source, it is within your reason to investigate. And if your judgment is misplaced, the box won't open.
All right then.
And no offense, but fuck you, that sounds exactly like what the Imperial Express is doing.
How so?
They're using their best judgment, and I'm like genuinely throwing my hands up in like a woo flashy type way.
All right,
to just be like, they're using their best judgment to determine the safety of the people.
This is getting political. I'm gonna go help Kananye with his artificing, and I leave.
The Rooker just kind of chuckles and goes, we're one destination away from the answer to the question I'm sure you're posing.
Sure. And I'm gonna go back down for another lie down.
Alright, it's a long way now. You need to get like midway through to H10, and by now it's, what is it, like it was the late afternoon? No, the late morning. So now it's close to noon. Rooker's got some food ready. He's managed to get like just kind of like a bit of salt pork with like fries and a baked potato just to keep things interesting.
Oh.
The wind shifts back to like that distinct westerly. Seems to be, easterly I should say. Seems to be that the wind in particular is not liking.
Oh, when does it ever?
Do you guys tack northward a little, or do you try to go directly against the wind?
I think if we go northwest, we'll be fine.
Huh?
Northwest.
Or, sorry, yeah, no, northwest. We have to head over into the H. We're not heading back.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you make it 2 squares, 2.5, I should say, with a diagonal.
Yeah.
By now, it's the early afternoon. The sun's starting to get a bit lower. You've been, for the most part, just riding through, like, loose sea. There's not really a lot of other ships going by, just water, wind, light, clouds.
All right.
The wind shifts another time. This time to a northwest direction.
Well, then we can correct and go west then, in that case.
You shift and you're able to get most of the wind going with you. You tighten up the ropes. Here, you're kind of like awkwardly struggling against the waves that chop a little bit based on the way the wind in particular is interfacing with your ship. You end up moving like 3 squares across to the next sector.
Okay.
Cool.
By now, it's almost like dinner time abouts. The islands that are a little bit further south of you in the box that we're about to jump into, the one that's further south of you is the destination that you guys said you'd go to, but you're also able to go a bit northward to the other 2 if you wanted to go there first.
Should we go north and then south? Because I think we're already kind of...
Which way is the wind blowing?
Well, the wind is about to shift again. The wind shifts to like a little bit off and then a little bit the other way, and then it stabilizes the same way it was going towards the northwest.
I think we should head northwest.
All right.
Okay.
Take the good wind while we got it.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, you guys like completely unfurl your sails, adjust your course, change order destinations you're going through, and you start to optimize. You move 4 squares with the diagonal. By now, Rooker's got a bit of dinner ready, and it's the time. I'm gonna run off camera for a second.
I'm just gonna say we went like this, probably. Because if we keep going 4 squares, we're literally in the next tile.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm sleepy.
Yeah. I didn't think Will was gonna pull out a sea demon on us.
Yeah.
I know.
It didn't attack us, though, so that's nice.
Yeah. I was trying to think how I can work a My Wife Reggie reference in there.
My wife.
My wife.
God.
But, nah. Druid
Or
is
Reggie.
really fun. Druid is a lot of fun. You get to do weird animal shit. Weird plant shit. Highly recommend playing like, whichever one is the animal druid, highly recommend.
You don't know because you're good at both.
Yes, I have both of them written down. Henge and Grove. Don't care which. It's the same role for either one. It's just druid. I am the arch druid. The alpha and the omega. Except when it comes to a sea demon, because that shit's scary.
It's not pleasant, I'll tell you that much.
5 whole whales.
5 whales. Is he like just too tired to go get them, you think?
No,
You know,
he just...
You're chilling, you're relaxing on the beach. The last thing you want to do is go and hunt your own food.
I guess.
Like, you know, you'd rather just have some people go and get it for you. And sure, you may have to threaten to destroy the entire world and burn it to ash for them to go and get you your food, but that's what some people do. Frankly, this sea demon just seems like he's more of a Karen than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hate that you said it this way, but I can't...
I'm picturing
Can't
the
fight you
Empire
on it.
responding with, "Look, you chose the meal plan of 3 whales a month. Now we can bump you up to 5 whales a month, but it's going to cost you extra."
Yeah.
Could you imagine being the person who gets the like mental image of "I'm going to speak to your manager"?
Oh, they would die is the thing.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Well, it's a little past dinner. Do you sail to make it at one of your destinations, or do you just anchor out in the ocean?
Anchoring out in the ocean sounds like the most dangerous option. I think we should go through dinner to get to a safe port.
I think so, too.
Yeah, Crocal's kind of been against open water for a while now.
Since interacting with the sea
Since
demon.
interacting with a sea demon, she's just like, nope, solid ground sounds pretty fucking good right about now.
Yeah.
Don't need that thing in my head again.
Well, it's the whole point of us carrying mail for that thing is that our ships are safe, so we could park out there if we needed to.
Yeah, don't care. Don't want that
Big
thing in
and
my head
scary.
again.
I know it's big and scary, but it's our friend. It's our scary.
It's not our scary though. It's
yeah, no.
Croco's generally like, it's great that you think that it's your friend. You keep thinking that.
Yeah.
The wind shifts to the southwest.
Okay.
West, directly west.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright.
You catch the bulk of the wind, and you're catching the waves quite favorably, so you're able to chop and very readily get to the first of the two villages, the closer one.
Okay.
This one is Hermit Island. You can see it's a small island. There's a little, like, sea-swept garden by the edge. There's a little fishing assembly, one hut on the island. By the time you get close enough, there's a dude who's already come out to meet you on the pier holding an arm, it looks like.
Oh, that's convenient.
How nice of them.
As you get closer, the rooker kind of like waves you in a little bit to give you a bit of a debrief.
Croquill is rolling her eyes behind her mask.
Alright, so, this one here's, well, there's some folk that believe that they're,
Mhm.
what's the gentle way of putting this? When you see something like a nation, some people seem to think, well, why shouldn't I be able to do that? And it's admirable to think that, you know? Anyhow, so this one makes a lot of bombs, so it's best we just ask every time we come in if he wants to contract with the rookery.
Okay.
Okay.
Is
So-
the rookery looking for munitions?
Let's just slow up real close. You'll see what I mean. You start to ebb a bit. You're not quite at the point where you would throw ropes, but the guy isn't ready to receive them. He's holding like a weapon in his hands. He's like a weathered-looking green torque from the Navy, wearing like a patterned tee with like some sort of red thing with words on the top and bottom. They've long since been worn away by like the wind against the paint.
Okay.
Who are you, and why do you approach my land?
Wait,
Rookers.
I'm gonna shut him up real fucking fast
Okay.
and let the trainer speak.
The trainer goes, "We are rookers with the rookery service. We are contracted to them, and on behalf would like to contract with you." Guy sits there and goes, "I have no letters for you. Did I get anything though?"
Did he get anything?
I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Did he?
Who on earth would be messaging this man?
Oh, maybe
he's
it's
insane.
Strawberry Jan from the Strawberry.
Yeah, he's got one letter from Strawberry Jan.
So yeah, you take out this little one, and you can literally see it like emblazoned with a little strawberry seal. The way that the rookery letters go, enclosed on both ends so that you can't unfurl the letter without like breaking the seals. There's a third one that she literally went out of her way to just put on the letter in a place that isn't needed to assert that it's a Strawberry Clan certified letter being sent.
Oh my god.
You
Nice.
kind of like lean over. The guy doesn't want you, like you go to like gesture with the ropes. You say, no. And you lean over and like awkwardly, like the tide comes and goes, and he catches it and snatches it out of your hand. Gives it a little look and goes, "Visit me again next time. I gotta send a letter back to my mom." Go! It's my land! The guy starts going back to his hut.
All
Well,
right.
I guess we're not docking here. Let's go to the next one.
Next island.
Yep, nope, this island sucks.
The wind hasn't shifted yet, and you very quickly catch back up to it, but when you get to the next spot, which should be Development Island, you see, like, the crumbled foundation of where a lighthouse should be, and there's bits of timber sticking out where there must have been a storm or a landslide.
I wonder if that dude has a valid wagon.
Oh, don't you dare.
If it's been inspected.
If it's been thoroughly inspected.
Oh my god. You
Like,
can't.
that's literally the whole reason why Crowquill didn't start talking there, because she knew she was gonna piss him off. Like, any word out of Crowquill's mouth would just be an instant piss off. Alright,
Yeah.
let's pass this through.
So you pass by. There's no real sign of anything. There's some seagulls coming and going. You don't stop. You just kind of drift past.
Do they have a dock?
Not anymore.
Ah,
Mr.
So, are we taking another boat out?
Well, and the rooker takes out a notepad and goes, "Didn't think I thought I'd just have to explain this in passing, but another part of the Rookery Services Bureau, we ports. What does this look like to you? To me, it looks like excessive rain and then a mudslide. Does that sound right?"
Can I
it
glean
sounds
anything from
plausible.
the environment? Like, using Druid magic to sense,
Yeah.
like, disturbances in the soil and shit like that?
Absolutely.
That was a terrible roll. That is going to be a 17.
The devastation extends far below the waves, starting from here. This must have been the source, but the sloughing off and mud went on to destroy a significant section of reef below you. Nothing that couldn't heal. The reef isn't really up against a lot of opposition around here, but a lot of dirt dislodged itself, and a lot in particular of like the soil life is kind of disparate and in shock.
Definitely a mudslide, very recently.
Right. Alright, we are going to have to report. I'll take care of the paperwork, of course. It's not hard paperwork, just... I got it. We got to report to the map makers and to the Rookery in particular, just those two, that this settlement no longer exists.
Well, what about all the people? How are we going to get their mail to them?
The settlement no longer exists.
Right, but that doesn't mean that everybody died. I mean, should we look for survivors?
Would you like to?
Well, we got our mail to deliver, don't we?
Like, you find someone who's, like, half buried under a collapsed building and it's just like, here's your letter. Have a good day.
Well, I'm just... All right, fine. We won't go digging through the wreckage. But what do we do with all this mail?
do we have any mail going to this place?
You see the guy kind of like look over at a crate near the side and goes, "If we fail to deliver it, return it to the sorting center. That notice that
All right.
Yeah, well, we'll just do that.
Well, one place left.
All right, let's go. Or wait, it's like nighttime, isn't
Yeah,
it?
we might want to just dock.
Yeah,
for the night and
let's anchor.
I feel very happy. I feel much better knowing that there's a reef below us, which means that it's, much closer to the land. It's much harder for
For a sea monster.
for a
Yeah.
certain species to get near the ship.
Right.
The night passes slowly, but nothing's out there in the waves causing any particular. A few times that you kind of rouse and outside of the portholes, you can see that here off the shores, this town is dead silent. The wind kind of like scores through it like it's an open space for inhabited. The mud almost seems to have sunk even further into the sea by the time it comes.
Hey.
The wind is moving directly northward.
Ah.
Well,
Awesome.
damned if
Great.
you do, damned if you don't. All right.
Yeah.
You sigh and kind of start tacking back and forth. You make it a surprising amount of distance. Like, it's an aggressive and strong wind that you're against, so you're able to exploit it, but there's a lot of heaving against really tight lips. You make it about 2 squares.
Okay.
That's pretty good. Pretty solid.
From there, the wind switches again. This time, sharply changing course towards the southwest.
Cool. We continue on our way south.
From here, the wind is a lot more favorable. Very quickly soars you into this location. At this point, you start to slow up. There's a sign that says Nonce Island, Nonce, and then underneath it says no unauthorized dock. The instructor is just like, we're authorized.
It better be.
Yeah, I hope so.
Right. So these ones, we just have to do on the. We could just do the sorting and stick them back. We're authorized for that. They get sorted on the way in as well, so we could just drop them. Right.
All
so,
right.
You slowly make your way up. You throw the ropes off and extend the gangplank. There's a small, like, hermitage, like maybe 4 to 5 buildings all clustered a little way inland from here, so that, like, the salt spray and the change of tides doesn't affect any of the buildings. There's some small areas of, like, tilled soil. It looks like there's a small pasture, maybe a chicken coop.
See, now this looks like a much nice, straightforward delivery. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely a put-together town.
You make your way up. Once you get there, everybody's noticed you arrive, and they start interacting. They go, "Oh, hello, Rookers, Rookers." You've got one crate. Who's going to be delivering the mail?
I'll do it.
All right. So you start cracking open the crates, and you start passing them around. Literally, the first person you pass a letter to kind of like looks at you with a bit of a smile and goes, "You're strong, eh?"
Decently, yeah.
Gives you a smile and goes back to his house.
Okay.
What a nice man.
You pass a couple, and then the next one, there's someone who comes up and grabs the letter, and then towards Croakwill is kind of just like, you're pretty petite, aren't you?
I wouldn't say that, no.
Ah, well, I would. The guy leaves.
Want to fucking try me?
He might actually want to.
There's a few more letters that go by. There's one guy who comes up to pick one up, and then he's kind of just like, he leans to the side and then chats to Sud. He's like, "We're people on this island, right?"
I'm not going to comment on that.
Yeah, wise, I guess. So, you look a little bit older. You a dad? You got kids on shore?
On the boat, actually.
Really?
Yep, made them myself.
I didn't think the Rookery let you. At this point, the entire town's noticed that comment.
Say hi, Otto.
Oh, it's a machine. He built a machine. It's not an actual child.
You hear grumbling, and a bunch of people head back to their huts.
What? No, he's cute. He's cute though. He's got.
No, I get it. He's your robot boy.
Yeah.
We make do with what we got.
Make.
I mean, technically, you did make do.
I mean,
very quickly, you've received the couple of letters you need to receive, and the interaction is over.
I hate this island. This island sucks. No one here appreciates a boy.
You quickly get on board and start to unmoor. They all give you waves from the pier as you're sailing away. The rooker just kind of slowly turns towards Croakwill and goes, "So we're reading these, right?"
And Croakwill just responds, "Why?"
Well, who do you think they're sending letters to?
Some other idiots.
What was the name of this island again?
Nonce Island, Nonce.
I mean, they're all idiots on that island. Whoever they're sending mail to, bet it's not that important.
I don't know. I
Okay,
mean,
any other takers?
what? Aren't we specifically forbidden from doing this thing that you're suggesting?
The guy holds up his thing and he goes, "Not unless you're with the Rookery Service Bureau. Look, it's nice in theory, but the practice is the issue. We gotta make sure that these guys don't send letters to schools. Hermit guy, we've had to check 3 of his boxes to make sure they don't blow up on their way to the Empress. People back on that other island, they've tried to make 3 different super weapons. And I mean..."
Wait. Did they, like, how close did they get?
Well, if we ever have a box with a lot of tubes and pipes, we ask a professional to give it a look over.
Well, got the good news on that front.
Wait a minute. The island that was taken out by a landslide is the one that was making super weapons?
Yeah.
Huh. Seems related.
Potentially.
Might be.
Right?
This isn't something we do everywhere. It's just out here. People who go, let's go to the farthest out of the edge of the map near the furthest away from civilization. That's who you gotta watch out for. 99% of the people, you don't check. It's just every now and then, just like when you're going through the Rookery, you do your sensors, make sure there's no glyphs or explosives.
Right.
Now, maybe it's not right. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but it's a discussion, right?
Yeah, I mean, well, if your job involves you going through people's mail to root out explosives, I mean, by all means, go ahead. Give a shout if you need something diffused, I suppose.
It's important to remember, though, you're only allowed to do this with dispensation from the Rookery Services Bureau.
Right. No, I just...
The guy sits too satisfied with the logic of his explanation.
Yeah.
Like it's this magic little cohesive knot, and it goes, okay, that solves everything.
Yeah, and Croakle's just gonna go, "Yeah, that's fantastic that you have a little seal of approval to do scummy things. But it's okay, because you're doing it to people that you think are scummy. And might actually be scummy, but that's a different debate." I'm not going to defend the actions of the people on the island, like the people in a cult, people who don't know that I can kick all their asses, people who make super weapons, not defending their actions. But it's still a shitty thing.
This sounds like a lot of sort of thinking about ethics, and I don't know.
Yeah,
if I'm
we know you don't like
do
that. Don't worry, you haven't committed any crimes.
Well, and I say this with enthusiasm, if you don't like it, get involved and change things, because it's a forward process. I mean,
back over where the Empire is. We don't want them in charge. Back over where, the Prosperites are. You don't want them looking through their mail and figuring out the undesirables either. But it's a changing process. And just like before, it's almost like the guy puts down a package and ties it in. Neat little bit of twine. But, that's it, right? It's constant development. Our ideas up to scrutiny. Change.
Yeah, and I'm certain that it'll change. You have fun with that.
Alright, let's close that there. Seems like a nice little uncertain, weird note to end.
I don't like this hippie.
I didn't like him from the
Hippie's
start,
frightening.
and I feel justified now.
He reminds me of I started watching Disenchantment, or just Disenchanted.
Disenchantment.
Disenchantment. This character you've made reminds me of Chaz.
Which one's Chaz again? He's the first prince, right?
No, Chaz is like the weird masseuse guy.
Ooh, I don't remember.
Torturer.
Wait, is that medieval Futurama?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. I love medieval Futurama.
We started watching it a while ago, and we never actually finished it.
I think we watched like the first episode or two, but it does get a lot better.
It's just like Futurama. It needs a slow roll. It takes a few episodes for everyone loves Futurama now for what it did, but the first few episodes are like, yeah, this show's got legs.
Yeah.
This show's enjoyable.
Yeah.
But medieval Futurama, it takes a few episodes to really get the ball rolling, and the later seasons are a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
Well, if you want to check out more of this show, you can check us out at twitch.tv/Mr. Croden. If you like this wonderful experience of an hour of travel mechanics and then come taste in the back, then you can check us out at youtube.com/Mr. Done this shit before.
Aren't those links the old links?
Which one's Croden Live?
Croden Live is Twitch.
Okay, twitch.tv/Croden Live. I think we're still Mr. Croden on.
Yeah, until I get 100 subscribers.
Yeah.
Tell your friends. I need to make a new URL link.
Tell them Croden sent ya.
Yeah, tell them Croden sent you. I need a new URL link, and I want to make it.
But anyways, that's where we're going to be for a show. So tune in then, and things happen. Is there any stuff coming up?
Yep. On Friday, I'm playing more Mass Effect. It's going to be fun. We're going to do Pharos and fight the Thorian, which is always fun, and always I'm going to die so much. I swear to God. It's a fight that either goes, because of Mass Effect's jank, it either goes perfectly well and perfectly executed, or everything is fucked up and you're just trying to make do with what you got. So,
Do you think they rebalanced it for the anniversary edition?
from what I've noticed, they just added more people, which isn't going to help very much. They literally have one fight that is a really difficult fight because you're fighting something that's supposed to be in a tank, but they've specifically made it so you can't be in a tank for this fight. And they added more enemies and sniper towers in the background. And it's just like, this is chaos. All right, cool. So
why would they do this to you? You're their most loyal fan.
Yeah, but it's fun.
Okay.
You're meant to die a whole lot when you play on the hardest difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, that's going to be
the harrowing experience of actually experiencing hard mode.
Yeah, and on Saturday, Will and I are going to be going through Jenny Leclue Detectivu again.
Mm-hmm. We have mysteries. We actually managed to receive the plot by the end of stream. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm excited for that because the game looks it's a lot of fun, and I want to delve more into it and its mechanics because
it looks like a neat one.
Yeah. So
tune in for we're gonna be there.
Yep. So as always, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for all your support, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.
All right.
See ya.
Peace out.